Paul Fox joins us from West Scranton. We're talking about the wrestling program this season. Coach, we're getting towards that end of the season, getting ready for districts. Let's talk about how you guys were able to fare in dual meets this year.
We did okay. We were up and down in dual meets. We won some big matches and then lost some tight matches. But we're looking forward to the postseason now, the individual stuff. I think we sit with the winning record, but yeah, we're looking forward to the postseason.
And all that energy, as you said, just goes all towards the individual stuff. Let's talk about keeping guys around weight. The weather's been challenging as it is for everybody. Guys aren't in the room, and we're hoping they're not just kind of sitting around eating up a storm. But let's talk about what you hope to do with some of the guys that we're going to talk to tonight.
Well, we have high hopes. We had 5 guys, I think, last year qualify for regionals. So we're looking to grow that number. Maybe we're thinking that we could probably get about 8 guys through to the regional tournament. They're working hard in the room. Like you said, we've been out for the snow days, and they kind of keep their weight under control on their own. They know to, but I think we could challenge for a district title as a team.
I'm sure you're encouraging guys, whether it's shoveling snow if they have to, or getting a run in, or getting some type of physical fitness in that they can on those days. Then when they get back in the room, do you find them to be kind of hungry, like, hey, we're a little bit of cabin fever, let's just get out and let's do something?
Yeah, they exactly. The days that we missed, that when we came back, they were ready to go. I think being out of the room for a couple days, like you said, cabin fever. And they were ready to go. So
let's talk about that coaching staff of yours, the guys you have in the room helping out and making sure these guys are going to be as sharp as they can be.
Yeah, we have a good coaching staff. They've been with me for a long time. Coach Bobby Barace and Coach Tommy Hersler, and our junior high coach Dennis Harishnak and Coach Pat DeSarno have been with the program for a long time. They just come in and day out, they do their job, and that's why we've had so much success, because of those guys.
The little things usually make a difference at this point in the year when you get to districts or make it to that next step in regionals. Could be the last 2 or 4 seconds in a match. Talk about those extra things that you and your coaches kind of focus on, whether it's having that great motor or making sure the endurance is peaked out as best they could.
Yeah. Well, besides being in shape, we feel like our guys are in very good shape. Besides that, I think it's also a mental thing, and we go over those things all the time, in different situations, and we'll drill different situations. Here it is, the end of the match, and you're up by 1, you're down by 2, different situations, and we drill and we go over and kind of pound it into them, so that when they're in that situation, they know what to do,
It's going to come down to those single points, I'm sure, as it does with all wrestling matches when you get to this level. Coach, great to catch up with you. Look forward to talking to the guys.
All right, thanks.
Eyeballing right here. Jeremy Seymour here on the John Mendola Show, senior, 184 pounds for West Scranton. What kind of year have you put in so far in 2018-19?
It's been a pretty solid year for me so far. I'm 28-1 right now, and I'm ranked 7th in the state. So it's been pretty solid.
No, not that we want to focus on the negative, but let's talk about the loss, who you wrestled, and what that experience was like, and what positives did you take out of it?
I definitely took a lot of positives out of the loss, and I learned a lot from my mistake. And the kid I wrestled was ranked 4th in the state right now. His name's Stephen Newell.
He's going to be coming here in a couple minutes.
Yeah. Maybe I'll see him.
There we go. We'll shake his hand and move on. He's a pretty good wrestler, and obviously a lot of respect to you. Let's talk about the 28 wins. You can never take one for granted, but talk about just piling up the wins and then a nice career for you at West Scranton.
Yeah, definitely getting a lot of matches is big, you know what I mean? Getting all that mat time in and getting ready for districts and regionals and states. Just getting a lot of experience. And
how about as far as leadership this year? What do you think you brought to the room there at West Scranton? Now you're a senior. As you said, you had all those other years under your belt, but being a senior, what do you try to do with the younger guys?
I just try to push them. I know if I'm working hard, then they're going to work hard too, because I think a lot of them look up to me as a hard worker in the room. So if they see me working hard, they're going to push themselves.
Looks like you want to head to college for business. Is wrestling going to be a part of that, or you're not sure yet?
Yeah, I'd like to wrestle in college, so hopefully I get that opportunity.
As far as the classroom, a 3-point grade point average, so you're doing great there. Talk about your commitment to being a sound academic student.
I definitely focus on that a lot too. It's just being a student athlete, and I think West Scranton has a lot of those.
As far as your coaching staff, you got guys that have been around a long time. Coach ripped off all the names. I'm thinking, man, these guys have been there a while. What's it like going through the program at West with all that experience?
It's great. I love all my coaches, and we definitely have a good bond with all of them. They're like the type of coaches you could tell them anything, and they're always there for you.
All right, Jeremy, great to catch up with you. We wish you the best going forward.
Thank you.
Tyler Connor is with us here in the John Mendola Show at Art Carroll and Janelle. 160 pounds this year. Let's talk about some partners in the room you have. I'm sure you're getting better from them, right?
Yeah. Me and my buddy Nate Trotta, he's a 152-pounder. We work hard every day. And also here, Randy and Garrett, they're all on our hammers, so we're just wrestling every day, making ourselves better.
Play some baseball as well, and
yes.
Of course you're a busy guy. You got some siblings as well. You got a lot going on. You're doing well in the classroom. 3.8 grade point average. Talk a little bit about the academic end for you. What's that like?
Well, it's tough, but you're always up for the challenge. Just making sure you get your schoolwork done, and wrestling comes second.
You'd like to attend ESU to become a history teacher. Talk about getting all that stuff in and making sure everything kind of lines up, but not easy getting those college applications and all that stuff filled out.
Yeah, well, I got accepted to ESU, so I'm planning to go there. And I like history ever since I was a kid, so I want to pursue that.
Good for you. Let's talk about your dad and Austin DeSanto as your role models.
Yeah, Austin DeSanto, a real great wrestler from Iowa. I like watching his videos and make myself better, learn what he does. My dad's always just there to influence me and make sure I keep going, keep moving forward.
As far as the outlook going forward for you, talk about your hopes for districts or possibly regionals this year.
Yeah, well, I'm 25 and 8 right now. I lost the same kid 5 times from Abington, but I beat everybody in district besides him. So I'm looking to just get past him. It's a 2-point match every time, went to overtime last 2 times actually. So looking to make one step forward and finally beat him for the district championship.
Better watch that Vision Quest movie, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, go get him, all right?
Thank you.
Garrett Walsh with us here on the John Mendola Show. Continue the conversation with the West Scranton wrestling team. Garrett, let's first talk about the academic end. 4.0, 10th in your class, something that some people comes easy to. How about for you? You're working your tail off in the classroom?
Yeah. It's hard to balance both wrestling and the academics, but we get home and practice around 5:30, and after I'm just studying for the rest of the night and preparing for tests and any other thing for the next day. But so far it's coming fairly easy for me.
Let's talk about do you give yourself the pressure? Do you have your folks giving you a little bit of pressure, or has it become a positive habit?
A little bit of everything, to be honest. My parents are always pressuring me to do well, and which motivates me to do well in school and on the wrestling mat and the baseball fields. But they've been helping me out a lot this year with working towards college and scholarships. So it's been going well. They've been helping me a lot, so I have to thank them for that.
Well, let's talk about that next step for you. I guess one of the big goals will be Penn State, Maine.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Either that or the University of Scranton. Just a good college to go to, and potentially to work on to get a doctorate, PhD.
I don't think you go wrong with either, and it sounds like you're well on your way with the way your studying habits are going. Let's talk about some of those role models in your life. I know your parents are involved. Your Coach Barace and Jeremy Seymour, a fellow wrestler.
Yeah, every single day my parents tell me to do well. They motivate me. And in the room, Jeremy Seymour, he's been a 3-year captain now, and I'm glad he is, because he motivates everyone in the room. He creates that positive vibe in the room, which all pushes us to our limits. Along with our coach Brace, who's just like him, they push us to our limits, and they've been making the team very successful this year.
Let's talk about, you have a little brother?
Yeah, my little brother Evan.
Talk about him looking up to you. I'm sure you're a big role model to him.
Yeah, he plays baseball as well. He does well in his academics. He's been going back and forth with baseball and wrestling in the winter, but I think I'm steering him back towards the wrestling.
Well, we've talked about everything but wrestling.
Yeah.
And obviously, being a great student is the most important thing. But talk about the grind of wrestling. It can be tough. It's tough on your body. Mentally, it can be tough on you. I'm sure there's a lot of positives, but sometimes it's a 51-49er.
Yeah, You know, I've suffered a few losses this year, a few close matches that I could have won, but you know, the next day I come back to improve myself. You know, sometimes I go to different practices with different clubs outside of the wrestling school, or outside the wrestling team. So, you know, every day I just try to make myself better in the sport and push myself to my limits.
All right, Garrett. Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Randy Bonnett joins us, a junior here at West Scranton, 132 pounds. Randy, let's talk about making weight and how challenging that is for you.
Well, I started off the beginning of the season at 138, and I thought that was pretty much the lowest I can go. So the cutting down to 132 is a little bit challenging to eat right and stay on track every day, weighing myself.
You're able to look at a piece of pizza over there. Were you able to eat one? Or?
No, I'm not allowed to eat pizza.
All right, well, you're on a tight food diet. We'll figure that part out for you, but you're doing a great job with it of making it. You're able to get that pound every extra month. So that helps. So you're probably at, what, 134, 135 you're able to get up to? Okay. Let's talk about the academics for you. 4.0, National Honor Society. Talk about staying so focused.
It's hard. It's not easy. It's challenging, especially every day having wrestling practice. Meet days are even harder. Got to go home after your meet, study. You're up sometimes till 12, 1 in the morning, and then same thing every day. It's nonstop.
There's always that part where you want to have a little bit of fun, and I'm sure you have to kind of break up the monotony. Talk about, you know, you go have some fun, but then you're right back to the grind. You kind of catch yourself a little bit?
Yeah. On the weekends, mainly is when I can have fun with my friends, but during the weekdays it's hard. Even after my practice, sometimes I'm going to a double practice when I don't have meets, and it brings it right down to basically midnight when I'm going to bed every night.
Wow. Let's talk about life after high school, what you hope to do.
I plan on studying business at the University of Scranton and also pre-law, and I also want to be involved in the ROTC program and the wrestling team there.
Wow, it's a lot on your shoulder, and it's only your junior year. You got a pretty good mapped out program. Let's talk about some of your role models in your life.
My main role model is my father and Cale Sanderson. Like, I've always looked up to him, like, ever since I met him as a child, and like, he's such a good coach, and all of his wrestlers that he coached are really good, and he's pretty much my main role model.
Well, it sounds like you got a good vision, you know what you're doing, and it looks like there's going to be some good life after high school as well. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Cameron Buck joining us here on the John Mendola Show, sophomore year, 170 pounds. Let's talk about you on the mat. What kind of wrestler are you?
This year I've been trying to do a little better than I have last year. I haven't had nearly as many matches this year because a couple of them got canceled. Our Berwick duels tournament got even moved. Got postponed because of snow. The weather this year has been crazy, just a lot of match cancellations. But right now I'm sitting at 18-12, and last year I went 20-15, so kind of a similar. Like, my opponents have been getting good, as I've been getting good too.
Let's talk about making weight easy or been challenging.
I've never really had problems with it. I mean, yeah, I can't go around and eat whatever I want, which kind of makes me upset because I'm kind of a big eater, but it's just kind of got to watch what you eat sometimes.
Let's talk about playing other sports, baseball, cross country. How much you enjoyed them?
Not as much as wrestling, because you can't really beat it. Just getting in shape is one of my favorite things about it. Just looking good, feeling good outside the mat, and you get the big crowds all the time cheering you on. It just feels nice.
Spanish Club, National Honor Society class president. I'm sure you're pretty proud of those efforts. That it keeps things in perspective. Wrestling, academics. So talk a little bit about some of the club stuff you do to kind of stay well balanced.
I just try, one of my main goals in high school, by my senior year, I want to be #1 in my class, and in intermediate school I was the top of my class, and I'm just trying to strive because I know colleges look at that, and I still have a little bit to decide what I want to do because I'm only a sophomore. But I just try to be the best that I could be in everything. Currently #2 in your class, and I'm sure that real close battle. Yeah, which is great. Good for the other person. I'm sure #3 is kind of lurking on you guys as well. But talk about that competition and just trying to be your best, and maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. But you're going to keep fighting, right? Yeah, it's just always up late studying every single night. You get home from practice, eat dinner, shower, then straight into the books. You always just gotta do as best as you can on all your tests, study for hours on end.
Let's talk about your dad as a role model. Pretty good guy, huh?
Yeah, he's like, basically I can't really think of a better person. He's a great teacher. He teaches me valuable life lessons all the time. He knows, like, he's literally knows the most about wrestling any person ever. He's a referee, like a part-time referee, other than being a principal at Northeast Intermediate School, and he just knows like everything he's talking about. He always comes to me and shows me new moves. He'll come back from tournaments or matches and he'll be like, "Oh, I saw this," and he'll come here and he'll get me down on the floor, and we'll just go over what he learned.
You're a pretty good coach back in the day as well.
Yeah.
Well, he's a well-rounded guy. You sound like you got your act together, so everything's working pretty well. We wish you the best, Cameron.
Thanks.